Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. This episode, guys, is going to be the second to last episode, which means we are going to wrap up pretty much everything there is to do in Termina in this one episode. In the last episode, or in the next episode, will be the last episode. The first thing we need to do is come over to the mayor's residence, which if we check the door, it says it doesn't open until 10 a.m. So we're going to have to wait here until 10 a.m. Now the thing about this episode, there is going to be quite a bit of waiting because we have to just mop up a couple of things, and because you guys know, everything happens at a specific time pretty much in this game, and we're gonna have to wait until those specific times quite a bit over the course of this episode. So I'll meet you guys back here at 10 a.m. Alright, so it looks like a Gorman brother is here. I didn't realize he would get here exactly at 10 a.m., but we did have to talk to that guy in the mayor's residence before, you might remember. Now, we're going to go to the room here on the left, and we're going to be getting some cutscenes here, and we've not been in here yet because we need the couple's mask to resolve this problem that's going on here. Most of the townsfolk already have taken shelter without waiting for the mayor's orders. The only ones left are public servants and committee members. Mr. Mayor and Carnival Committee members, please order those who remain to evacuate. Well... You cowards, do you actually believe the moon will fall? The confused townfolk simply caused a panic by believing this ridiculous, groundless theory. The soldiers couldn't prevent the panic, but outside the town walls is where the danger is. You want answers? The answer is that the carnival should not be cancelled. Isn't that right, Mr. Mayor? Well... Are you serious, Muto? It seems that giant chunk of rock above us hasn't caught your eye. At this time every year, we are overrun by tourists, so why is the town empty? Clearly, it's your job to ensure the carnival's operation, but that's if people are here for it. Don't drag the merchants and soldiers into this. If the soldiers wish to run, then run, Bison. We councilmen will stick to tradition. This carnival will be a success. I've never heard of a defense unit abandoning its town. Madame Aroma would surely say the same thing, wouldn't she, Mayor Dotour? Well, let's not bring my wife into this. Now, speaking of wives and marriage and all of that, if we put on the couple's mask that we got in the last episode for reuniting Anju and Cafe, we can solve this problem that's going on. The couple's mask. What a nice reminder. So a young couple has been married. I wonder, did my wife flee? What? What did you just say? Yes, everyone. We are all worried for our families. Why don't we end this meeting? But, Mr. Mayor! This will do. Whether you're stubborn and will stay and guard your family, or if you prefer to run far away and seek shelter, that is for people to decide on their own. Thank you for allowing me to put an end to all that pointless bickering. Adults are all so stubborn, it is shameful. Here is a token of my gratitude. Well, I may be an unreliable mayor, but at least my family can depend on me. I want to protect my wife. Now, I've always really liked that little sequence going on there, so they finally realized that maybe all the arguing is not the biggest issue right now, with the moon literally falling from the sky. Now, our next objective, now that we've done that, and by the way, that is the only use for the couple's mask in the entire game that I'm aware of, we need to not save the old lady, and we need to do the Anju and Cafe side quest again. But this time we don't actually, basically if you guys remember in the last episode when we had to give that letter to Madame Aroma, this time we're not going to deliver it ourselves, we're going to give it to the postman to deliver, so I will meet you guys then. By the way guys, there's one thing that I forgot that I want to show you. If we talk to Anju here, welcome to the Stockpot Inn. Did you have a reservation? You do have a reservation, that's good. Mr. Kyle, is it? One moment please. Mr. Kyle, I have you down for an afternoon arrival. Your room is our knife chamber on the second floor. Here's your key. Now, exactly what's going on here is, if you talk to Anju after, I think it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon to like 4 or 5 in the afternoon, you will get the room key, which is good that I remember this now, because we have to have that. And by the way, I need to talk to Anju again as Cafe to get that side quest going again. But anyway, we have to talk to her to get that room key, and that's one of the entries in the Bomber's Notebook for 100%, so it's lucky that I remembered that. Now up here is that room, and in the room that we got with that room key, there is a silver rupee, so that's definitely a good thing, because we're going to have to get 5,000 rupees before the end of this episode. Now, that 100, of course, is a fairly decent percentage, I guess, for not that much work, but we have a lot left to go, is all I'm going to say about that. Anyway, I will meet you guys after I'm done doing the Andrew Cafe side quest again. Oh man, I forgot about this guy. Let's go ahead and talk to this Goron. He says, the city is so busy, it's hard to find one's way, Goro. This guy, I don't know how I forgot about this guy. The reason we got the room key, I forgot to explain this part of it. He is the guy that was actually supposed to get the key, and there's going to be a little bit of a cutscene here that we can kind of eavesdrop on between Andrew and this Goron. So I'm glad I remembered this. I'm glad I happened to be standing there so I could see this about to happen, or I would have forgotten probably. I'm terribly sorry. There are no vacancies today. We're booked solid with reservations. I made a reservation. The name is Kyle Goro. Mr. Kyle Goro? I don't have a reservation under that name. There is one close to that, but... What? Really, Goro? Well, it's nice weather, so I'll just sleep outside, Goro. I'm terribly sorry. So now I feel kinda bad. We made this Goron, who looks like he has a really heavy pack on his back. He's gonna have to stay inside. Look at that face. How could you possibly not feel bad that we stole that guy's room key? Anyway, I'm over it, so I guess I will meet you guys at 11:30 and we will talk to Andrew in the kitchen and get, you know, like I said 100 times already, finish the Andrew Cafe side quest again. And here we get the express mail to Mama again. Now, like I said before, we gave this piece of mail to Madame Aroma ourselves the first time we got this far in the side quest. However, this time we need to go give it to the Postman, so I'll meet you guys over there. Now then, here we are inside the Postman's house. If we talk to the Postman... Oh, I want to flee, but it's not written on the schedule. To me, the delivery schedule, it's the highest priority. Now that's really sad, but we do have some priority mail. This is a priority mail seal. This is the highest of priorities. I shall deliver it. Now then, he has the piece of mail to deliver to Madame Aroma. We have set events in motion, so we will be able to get another mask, if you will. However, that motion is going to take quite a while, if you will, for him to actually get to Madame Aroma. So, I guess what I might as well do is go wait inside the milk bar for the Postman to arrive. I have a delivery for you, postmistress. Oh my, it can't be. You're still here. Tomorrow's delivery is still scheduled. What are you saying? Did you see the sky? It's terrible. But, oh my. Well, what shall we do? It's from Cafe. It's priority mail. I'm so happy to think something good would come in the end. Thank you. You flee now. That's an order. Understood. Now then, the Postman has been set free, and he no longer has to abide by the schedule, which I guess Madame Aroma would have excused him earlier if she had realized. And I have no idea what was going on with the door there. It looks like a really bad glitch, graphically anyway. Anyway, if we let the Postman, eventually he should stop and allow us to talk to him. And there he goes. I have decided to flee. It is an order from the Postmaster. I am now free. I can set my own schedule. I don't need this anymore, so here, I'll let you have it. Thank you so much for your Postman's hat, and I believe that is our penultimate mask that we're going to get in the game, and we've saved a troubled public servant. Now then, he will skip away. I thought he might have a couple more lines of dialogue there, so I was kind of quiet for a second, but anyway, I've always loved that. We've saved the Postman from a lifetime, I guess, since his life will probably end tomorrow morning, of duty to the city of, you know, delivering mail. Anyway, if we go put our postman's hat on, and we talk to a mailbox, you are doing a great job, ka-ching! Some item other than a letter has been deposited, ka-ching! And we get pretty much a free piece of heart. That is a really easy piece of heart to get. The only hard part, of course, is getting the postman's hat in the first place. But now, what we need to do is go back to the graveyard for the Night 3 event. So, I'll meet you guys there. Now then, the third grave has been opened. How did I jump over that? It's weird that things like that happen here in the graveyard. Like, I should have just gone right in the hole, but I happened to anti-gravity my way to the other side. I've actually read that in Ocarina of Time 1.0, that the graveyard in Kakariko Village, you were able to grab onto the ledges of the graves, which made it hard to actually get in the graves. So I guess that's why it works like that here. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and talk to Dampé. I guess I'm not going to read his dialogue or anything, but I'll leave it here so you can read it if you want to. But what I want to talk about is how exactly tedious, I guess, this part of the game is. And the reason that is tedious, or the reason this part of the game is tedious, is because he's pretty much blind, and we have a light, and that light is Tattle, I guess. We have to lead him to these holes or whatever, these patches of sand on the ground, and he will dig, and he wants us to find the treasure from the royal family or whatever. Now, the reason this is difficult is because if you get too far away from him, he will lose track of you, and you have to go get his attention again and lead him to the holes. The way I do this is grab or lock onto him and backwalk until we get to a hole, and he will dig up whatever is at the hole. What we're looking for is like 3 flames, so I guess if we'll see right here, and we got 1 already, so that's kind of lucky. Now, we have to get 3 of these, and if we do, we will get the treasure, whatever the Dampé wants to split. But also, another thing that I want to mention is that if you backflip, there will be wall masters or whatever on the ceiling that will try and fall on you. If you backflip, they will go away and not even try and land on you anymore. So, backwalk and backflip, and you won't have too much frustration trying to get through this part. But anyway, because it will take quite a bit of time, I will see you guys once I've dug up all 3 of the flames or the fires. Now, I knew the final flame had to be in this hole right here because there were no more options left, I don't think, on the battlefield, but we have summoned the final Big Poe, or the other Big Poe, I guess you could say, in the game. I made a mistake in the well when I said there was only 1 Big Poe, because of course we're fighting our second Big Poe in the game, but I'm almost 100% sure that this is the only other Big Poe in the entire game. But of course, light arrows seem to do a fairly good job on Big Poes. I believe it does more damage. Of course it does more damage than fire arrows and regular arrows, because I think it only takes like 3. And yes, it only takes 3, whereas fire arrows and regular arrows take 5. Now, that was a very easy fight, not too bad, especially since, of course, we have light arrows, but Dampé ran away before he could claim his half of the treasure or whatever. The only question is, why would he want half of a bottle? I'm not sure how we could have split this treasure, so I guess it's for the best that he ran away. Now, we need to go ahead and equip the ocarina, because we only have like 40 in-game minutes before the moon will crash into Termina, and we don't want that, because we don't want a game over. I don't think I've shown you guys, but if you accidentally let the moon crash into the Earth, or Termina or whatever, that is a game over, and we don't want that to happen right now. Even though I want to show you guys what happens if you do let that happen, we're not quite done collecting everything in this episode, so I think I'll reserve that for a future bonus episode or something like that. And by the way, I don't think I've actually talked over one of these going back in time sequences yet. Usually I save these for like the end of the episode, if it happens to land at the actual end of the episode. Kind of like the last episode, I believe, was like that. But anyway, here we are back at the dawn of the first day. Pretty much everything has gone back to the way it was at the beginning of the episode. Now you might be wondering what our next objective is. And our next objective is, believe it or not, let's go save the old lady again. Because if we do that, that will allow us to get the final mask that we're going to be able to get right now. The only problem is, you might remember that we cannot save the old lady until midnight on the first day. So I guess what I'm going to do is advance time to that point, and we'll save the old lady. So I will meet you guys there. Now, fortunately, I don't think Sakon, and yes, guys, that is Sakon, the guy that tried to steal Cafe's wedding mask or whatever. I don't think he can stand up to the Great Fairy Sword, and of course he cannot. I've never really wondered, I have always wondered why the guard never tries to stop Sakon, even though he tries to stop me. I think everybody that plays this game wonders that. I've never been able to come up with a good answer. Now, the old lady has nothing to give us, because she already gave us the blast mask. However, she will give us something indirectly, because now that we've saved the old lady, we can go withdraw 500 rupees, which means to get this mask, you have to have the giant's wallet. We have to withdraw 500 rupees and go buy the mask at the curiosity shop. The only weird thing about this is, it will not show up at the curiosity shop until 10 p.m. on day 3. So guess what, guys? That means I'm gonna have to go ahead and advance time till then. So I'm gonna go ahead and continue to withdraw my rupees, and I guess I'll meet you guys in the curiosity shop at 10 p.m. on day 3. Alright guys, here we are in the curiosity shop. Now if we look at the table here or whatever, there is the all-night mask, and if we talk to the guy, come in. You gotta look around. I'm doing a special sale. Check it out. Tonight's bargain is the all-night mask for use at bedtime. I forgot when this was made, but it sure is a freaky mask, see? When you put it on, you can try and fall asleep, but you won't be able to. Pretty creepy, huh? What'll it be? Now, I guess what it's gonna be is we need to check the bargain and not talk to the shopkeeper again. We need to scroll over to the right and buy the all-night mask for 500 rupees. Now, you might wonder why we would need a mask that will allow us to, or never allow us to drift off to sleep, and that'll be explained pretty much right away. Now, it doesn't really matter what else he says, because we don't ever have to talk to this guy ever again. We've talked to him as many times as we're ever going to have to talk to him. But if we go outside, I'm going to have to go back in time yet again, because we have to go back in time to the first day. I guess, now actually I was going to say technically I guess we can do it right now, the thing I'm about to do, but I don't think we can. What we need to do is go back to day 1 and go talk to the old lady in the Stockpot Inn. I'm not sure if I've ever showed you guys the lady in the Stockpot Inn, a really old lady, but she has stories that she will tell us that you can never stay up through, which I think is kind of sad and kind of funny at the same time. Now that we have the all-night mask, though, we will be able to listen to her stories all night and not fall asleep in the middle of her trying to tell them to us. They're actually used to advance time. Like, if you want to advance time till morning, that is one way you can do it. You can talk to the old lady without your all-night mask on, and you will advance time till the next morning. Now, we're going to have to go through the top entrance because the because the Stockpot Inn, I should say, is not open right now. So, of course, we're going to have to use the Deku Flower entrance, which we've done probably hundreds of times at this point. And actually, by the way, I should probably mention the room key that we got a long time ago at the beginning of the episode. If you have the room key, which there's no way I could have it right now because even though I had it when I went back in time, if you have stuff like that when you go back in time, it will not be in your inventory when you get back to the first day. But anyway, if you have that, you can get to the Stockpot Inn at nighttime or in the morning before it opens, so you don't actually have to use that Deku Flower. We're going to go ahead and equip our all-night mask and talk to the old lady here. I'm not going to read her dialogue, I don't think, because she has a personality of her own, and I'd like to have her speak for herself. But we have 2 stories that she can tell us, and the first one we're going to listen to is the Carnival of Time. Alright, so I guess she's finally done with the story. I actually enjoyed reading that. Now, When does the clock tower roof open? On the eve of the festival, of course. I think if she wants to fool us, we're gonna have a little bit harder of a question than that. Now, actually, it's kind of funny that that is the option. The second option is I don't know. Believe it or not, that is the answer to the second question she will ask us, so keep that in mind. However, that is our first part piece, and she will actually give us another one after we listen to her second story, which, might as well go ahead and listen to her second story right now. And that second story is going to be, I can't remember the actual name of it, but I believe it is The Four Giants. So, I hope you guys enjoy this story, which I believe is much better. Now then, I've always really loved that story because, and by the way, the answer to the question of what did the people do to call the giants is I don't know. I don't know why the answer is that, because they did sing a song, which we will have to do, by the way. You might remember when we saved the first giant, he taught us the oath to order and told us to call the giants or whatever when they had enough power. I don't remember exactly what they said, but we will see the effects of that probably in the next episode. But anyway, I really love that story because it gives kind of a backstory to the giants and the Skull Kid, which, even though it didn't specifically say that the Skull Kid or the kid in the story, and I didn't mean to talk to this lady, I'm trying to backflip over the counter. I guess she's not gonna let me. Gonna have to go around. Anyway, I don't think they specifically said that the Skull Kid, the giants in the story are the same ones that we're dealing with in the actual game, but I'm pretty sure that's what we're led to believe. Now, first of all, I need to go ahead and warp to Econ A Village, because that is where I'm going to begin my grind for 5,000 rupees, and I'll explain that in just a second. But another thing I just wanted to touch on with the story that she just told us, if you guys remember after we defeated Twinbold, the giant said something along the lines of the friend, or something. He was sad that his friend, like, went off the deep end or something like that. He probably said it in a little bit more eloquent of a way. But anyway, the idea is that the Skull Kid was a friend of the Giants way back before he found Majora's Mask, or stole it from the Happy Mask Salesman, and then everything went downhill from there. But anyway, now that we are here in Econ A Village, I want to lay out a rupee grinding strategy for you guys. Now, we need to equip our light arrows, because even though we could hit that crystal switch over there, why not just use our light arrows and make this a little bit faster? My strategy for this, I've never seen anybody else talk about this. I'm not sure if I'm the only one to ever do this, or, you know, the 5,000th one to do this, but we need to make our way over into the right corridor, which means we need fire arrows and our captain's hat to keep those re-deads off of our back. Actually, yeah, the re-deads. I was about to say, I can't remember if they're Gibdos or re-deads in this room, because the pause menu was in the way. Anyway, in the next room, you guys might remember that there was a sunblock, which means we're going to have to equip our light arrows again, I guess. After this room, there is a room with a Bliz Room in it. What I want to do is basically keep reloading the room I'm in right now, and not do that, of course. What I want to do is go into that room with that Bliz Room, take out the Bliz Room, and keep loading this room by going in that door that's over there over and over. What that will do is make those 4 re-deads right there keep spawning over and over. And you might remember that each group of re-deads, each group of 4 I should say, will drop like 60 to 70 rupees every time. And since it only takes, you know, 5 seconds to go through that door because we only have to take out this wizard one time, we'll be able to get our 5,000 rupees very quickly. And after I defeat this wizard, which I'll probably just go ahead and speed up, I want to time how long it takes to get one batch of 500 rupees. So I will meet you guys there. Alright, the Bliz Room has been defeated. Now, I have a separate timer here. I want to time how long it takes to get 500 rupees. Now, I could probably edit in a timer, but just for simplicity's sake, I will cut you when I get 500 rupees and let you know the results of my little experiment here. Alright, well that was about 2 minutes and 10 seconds. Not that bad, actually, for 500 rupees. And considering we need 5,000, what is that going to be? About 20 minutes or something like that? So, clearly this is going to be something that I need to edit out. So, I'll meet you guys back when I have 5,000 rupees deposited in the bank in West Clocktown. Alright guys, here we are, and this is going to be our final deposit, I think, into this bank. 490 rupees should be clearly enough to cover 5,000 rupees. If it's not, I'm going to be really embarrassed. However, that is going to be a total of 5,276. Now then, what's this? You've already saved up 5,000 rupees? Well, little guy, I can't take any more deposits. Sorry, but this is all I can give you. A piece of heart for like half an hour of straight collecting rupees. I guess that's okay though, because that is the final heart piece that we can collect in Termina. And you might wonder why I'm saying it like that, because of course we are one heart container short of a full 20, and that is because of a spoiler type thing that I don't want to talk about. However, in the next episode, we have everything that we need. We have all the masks, we have all those songs, we have all the heart pieces we can collect right now. We filled up the bomber's notebook, and in the next episode, we will go in the clock tower at midnight on the 3rd day, and we will summon the giants to help us take on the Skull Kid. I want to thank you guys for watching this episode of Let's Play The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, and I hope to see you guys back for the finale of this Let's Play.